it's Derek Moore, curator here at the National Corvette Museum. We're introducing to you a new series we're calling More Mondays. And it's a fun series. We're going to be looking at a bunch of different things. We're not only going to be looking at stuff we have hidden in the collection, we're also going to be doing some series called Collections on Track. You can guess what that is. We're going to take cars over to the MSP and run them on the track. And then we're even going to do some things about new to the floor, where we're going to talk about cars coming in on loan that are going out on the floor for exhibit for you to come see. But today we are in the preservation shop here at the National Corvette Museum. We're going to look at one really cool car, but I'm going to introduce the car that's behind me first. This is a 1990 ZR-1. This is the legendary King of the Hill, 375 horsepower LT5 engine. And this car is the basis for the car we're going to look at today, and that is the famed Falconer ZR-12 Corvette. Only one of these built. Now, the story for this car begins in January of 1989 at the North American International Auto Show. And there's a little company called Dodge that unveils a car that year called the Viper. The Dodge Viper, famed V10 sports car. Now, what does that do to Corvette? That leaves Corvette wondering, are we being challenged as to the fact that we are America's only true sports car? And they feel that they are. So, the engineers from Corvette and guys go back, start working on a plan. Now, they've got the LT5 ZR-1 coming out. This is a fantastic car. Like I said, 375 horsepower. Great car. But the Dodge Viper V10, it's taking it a step further. So, Corvette says, well, why don't we take it a step further? We'll start with that ZR-1, but we'll make it better. Dodge has 10 cylinders. Yeah, let's take it up to 12. So they call Ryan Falconer of Ryan Falconer Racing Engines. And they get him to stick one of his Falconer V12 engines into a ZR-1 chassis. Now, that takes a little bit of talent. So let's back up and talk about Ryan Falconer. Ryan Falconer is a man who starts out his career in racing engines working for and learning from the famed Andy Granatelli. I mean, who better to work with and learn from? Andy Granatelli. So he works with Andy Granatelli for a while. Then he moves to Shelby America. And he works on the famed GT40 projects and the Cobra Racing projects. I mean, this guy's background is insane. And in 1966, he starts his own company building race engines. So, by 1990, he's got this V12 figured out. He's basically taken a small block V8 and he has added 4 extra cylinders, 2 at the front, 2 at the back, and he creates a 600 cubic inch, 683 horsepower engine. Now, granted, these are typically used in marine applications and, believe it or not, replicas of P-51 Mustangs because they're so powerful. Corvette likes that, so they work with Ryan Falconer to do this. Now, one of the big challenges when you add cylinders at each end, you make a small block V8 a lot longer. So, you got to make the chassis a little longer. Corvette calls up Sports Fab of Wixom, Michigan, and they get them to add 8 inches into the chassis of a ZR-1. Aaron, come over. All right, so this is your standard filler panel between the door, the front of the door, and the wheel opening on a ZR-1 Corvette. Swing over here. This is the filler panel on the ZR-12. That is 8 extra inches of chassis just to fit that engine in there. Turns out, this is an incredible car. Jim Miniker, the famed Corvette engineer, race driver, test driver, all those things, it's said that he takes this car out and does testing with it, including a quarter-mile drag run, and in at least one of those, legend has it, he spun the tires in this car for 1/8 of a mile. I mean, half of the drag run. Incredible power out of this car. Now, there's only one of them built. This is experimental. They consider it a chassis study, figuring out the 8 extra inches, things like that. But why in the heck didn't they go any further than this? The engine only added an extra 100 pounds, including the chassis, everything, to the car. It was incredible. Well, one of the big problems might have been that this Falconer V12 engine in 1990 cost $45,000. Not exactly practical when you're trying to make an affordable sports car in America that has the following it has. So, GM and the Corvette engineers doing an amazing job working on this. Obviously, they've already done an amazing job bringing out something like the ZR-1 with the LT5 engine. And this car is on loan to us from General Motors. We're happy to have it here at the museum. Like I said, we dug this out of storage a little bit ago, so we wanted to do this first video on this car. We brought it out to the preservation shop where you can see it through the glass windows and we can tell this car's story. So, hopefully you've enjoyed kind of this Facebook Live More Monday, and we're going to be doing these every Monday. It'll be a little different each time, just to keep you guys on your feet, wondering what we're going to be doing next. And I guess until next time, I'm Derek Moore. This is More Mondays. See you next time.